In the shadows, as I look upon my life, in the shadows, there's a passion inside. Heaven knows I'm living my dream. In the shadows, as I look upon my life, in the shadows, there's a passion inside. Heaven knows I'm living my dream.
Good morning, everybody. What a beautiful Thursday morning. And yes, we are so grateful that we are alive and well, and that the Lord our God raised us up this morning in our right minds and in good health. We're just so thankful this morning for the grace of the Lord upon us. And so, yes, thank you so much for tuning in even this morning, and those who can't will listen afterwards to the show. But today we are talking, on Sunday as Heritage Day, so we are talking on the topic, why Heritage Day in South Africa. So I was wondering, because we normally just run with the flow, but I thought it's so fit just to actually speak about this topic and know what our cultures are in South Africa and what is happening on this specific day. So without wasting any time, we want to welcome you, and we want to say while you are taking out your mirror, because we're going to ask a very specific a question that we actually need you to actually answer it for us. I wonder that what is it, that you have inherited when you were little, that is still stuck with you today. You still do it up till today. So anything, you know what I'm saying? What is it that you were taught that is still with you today? So if you look into the mirror and you say, well, I think I remember my mom used to do A, B, and C. My dad taught us A, B, and C, and this is what I am still doing up till today, even though they're no longer, and then I'm first going to ask my girlfriends just to introduce and to say hi to you. Actually, they don't have to introduce themselves because they actually, we want to welcome Violet back. Thank you so much being back, with us, for being back. It's the second week,
Second
right?
week now, yes.
But you were gone for ages.
I know.
Gone for almost like the whole year, like the whole year.
It wasn't, Joan, but
No, it was. I agree with Joan. We counted every month felt like 2 months.
Hey, they
like
say
the
it's like
Bible
1,000
says,
years.
So you're doing the multiplication.
So thank you so much, man. We really did. We really
I missed
did.
you guys too.
So you can say hi to the people.
Hi everyone. I am so happy to be back with you on the show, and especially my beautiful colleagues. I adore them. I don't know which word to use, to express my feelings about them, but I love you guys, man.
I love
it's
you
nice
too, man. Love
to
you
share
too.
Thursday morning with you.
Yes,
I think I would rather be here than anywhere else right now at this point in
the
time.
world.
In the world. Okay, in the world, because I'm a jet setter.
Yes.
Not by choice, guys. It's responsibilities. So anyway, I am happy for us just to ponder on this interesting conversation.
Yes.
This interesting topic.
Yes.
Why Heritage
Day?
Why? Yeah. So I don't know if it only applies to South Africa, the Heritage Day.
Yeah,
I was wondering about that too. So but I think we'll delve into that.
They have different names,
where it started, how Heritage Day started, and so on. I'm sure, Joan, we're going to delve into that a little bit.
Yes.
So
So come up, guys.
Come up, guys. Come and listen. Come and share this morning with us.
Sorry, Gail.
Get your coffee. We're going to have our coffee soon.
Yes.
So I'm having Black Week coffee. Black Week. I don't know if that is part of an inheritance. I think it's just a choice.
Yeah.
Something,
Yeah.
a preference. Yeah.
Yeah.
I've never heard anyone say black wheat coffee though, I must say. You usually get strong, lots of sugar or lots
No
of milk,
sugar,
no
no
sugar. But flow swart koffie,
Flow
nee, ek
swart
weet nie.
koffie.
Lee, daai is hoe dit eintlik moet gesê wees.
Ja, 'n lekker koffie, flow swart
Lekker
asseblief.
koffie, flow swart koffie.
I'm
That's
just
the
grateful.
opbrengst.
I'm just grateful you didn't
was
say
in
Rick
te-
coffee
I was-
asseblief.
I was just translating,
Yeah.
black Greek coffee. Yeah. There we go.
Yes, I'm also looking for that coffee.
Yeah.
And it is so good to be with my ladies back in the studio. Thursday days are treats. Joan and I always say afterwards, I think we enjoy, the topic and delving into it a bit
Right.
more, even than our listeners.
Yes.
Because we get to exploit possibly in a way that we haven't thought about before.
Yeah.
Yes.
So it's good to be in
Yes.
studio, and we are hoping that
Absolutely.
you are celebrating your Heritage Weekend, doing something that commemorates the day in your own
Yes.
specific way.
Yeah.
And that's one thing about Heritage Day, is that because South Africa is so culturally diverse and rich, people really, I think, celebrate it uniquely.
Yes.
I know the South Africans have kind of coined it or dubbed it as Bride Day,
Right.
which is also part of our South
Yeah.
African
Yeah.
history, but it's definitely a weekend of richness and wealth.
Yeah, definitely.
So
Definitely.
we would love to hear how you celebrate your Heritage
Your
Day.
Heritage
Yes.
Day, yeah.
Yes.
What are you going to do on the specific? Because I think it's the 24th of September, and I think the 24th this year is on a Sunday.
Okay.
Yeah, so it's Sunday. It's now coming Sunday, and that is why at our culture at church is to dress up culturally.
Yes, yes.
And that is what we are doing on Sunday. Everybody dress up, and we have a lekker. Everybody make their potjies.
Yes.
The Indians will make their curry,
Right.
and the coloureds
Ooh,
will
lekker man.
will make
Koeksisters
their
ook. Ek hoop ouders gonna be
potjies and
koeksisters.
the and the
biryani.
different
Biryani and
Zulu kosa and so on will make their
Tripe and-
dishes.
Yeah, all the
So
pups will
then
be
we
out.
have then we have this outside. After the sermon, it's a short
Yes.
sermon, and then we celebrate, and that is so nice because we
Yes.
get to meet each other. We in one another's spots,
Yes.
Yes.
I just love it. I just love it because we dance and we carry
Yes.
on just outside the building.
Yes. Yeah.
That's how we actually enjoy Heritage Day
Right.
in the church, per se. So I don't know how you guys
No, who
are
said
going to
church
do
is
it.
boring, eh?
No,
do it.
definitely
Yeah,
not.
man, yeah.
No, we do the
As-
same, and it's so
Yeah.
beautiful to see all the color and the,
The
life.
color,
Yes.
that shows you
Yes.
South Africa is about color, girl.
yes.
It's about
Definitely.
color.
Rainbow
And
nation.
even if it's dull and dark outside and the mood is not so lekker, if we wear that color,
Yeah.
hi man.
Alhoewel
it changes.
die land so donker is. Dankie oom
Ja,
Eskom.
nee, so waar.
Ja,
So,
we have to
Jan,
cheer
dit is wat
ourselves up.
gebeur, dis wat
Yes,
gebeur.
yeah.
But nevertheless, let's go to the mirror, guys. Our question today for you is, what did you inherit from your parents or your grandparents or whoever, that you are still keeping today? That culture is still with you. I don't know about you, but when I look into the mirror and I see there's so many things I can think about
Yes.
immediately, to be
Yes.
quite honest with you. But I'm going to do the thing that my mom left with us. My mom actually, she had this thing that on a Friday, it is spring cleaning.
Okay.
And you spring clean everything.
Yeah.
From
Every Friday.
hairbrushes to combs,
Yeah.
to under the bed,
Oh my
to
God.
to bedding,
Yes.
to wiping the walls,
Yeah.
to everything, guys.
Yeah.
And I don't know if it's sad to say or whatever, but my family knows that we are like that. So this is even in our children's children, our children.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is this every Friday
This is
or just a Friday?
Every Friday.
Every Friday.
It's spring cleaning. Every Friday.
Every
is spring
Friday.
cleaning.
Yeah, that's a bit,
and that is what that I still abide with today. And I know sometimes the children, hulle squeal man.
Yeah.
They don't like those things because my husband always say when Joan starts working, everything is in the passage. Haal alles af, alles. En everything. Die matte moet gewas word. Die onder die beddens moet weggetrek word. Die kaste moet weggetrek word. Alles word skoon gemaak. And that guys is what it is. My late sisters that are gone to be with the Lord, one of them, my elder sister, she was bad with this thing.
Wow.
You mean she could have done a Wednesday, Friday, and
she was extreme.
She took it to another level.
She took it to a greater level. And that is one of the things that we are still doing. My nieces, they still doing that. They still doing that.
But that's a lovely
them and so
it's a lovely problem.
It is a lovely problem.
But it's a nice thing because we want to smell the house.
Right.
To be quite honest with you, we want to smell the house.
No, I do love a good smelling house.
And I think that is what happens.
I also like clean house.
I don't know. You know what is that thing where they say, the little girl asked the mother, "So, mommy, why are you cutting the end of the lamb, the leg of the lamb,
and then chucking it away?"
And some of them put it next to it,
right?
And the mother said, I don't know. I'm gonna ask mommy. I'm gonna ask Gran. Why did you do that?
Yes.
And Granny actually said, "No, man, I didn't have a big pot or pan to put this thing in, and hence that's why I had to cut the last piece off.
Yes.
Because my pan wasn't big enough.
Yeah, I didn't want to throw it away. I just couldn't keep it.
Yeah." And that is the best part for me that I love. My family knows that that's my pan, that's my kant.
Yeah.
They normally say it's for the men, but guys, I like that bone. Ne?
Yeah.
I can sit all day long with that leg of lamb bone.
Yes.
That's me. So I just love it. I just love
Love
it.
a good leg.
So I don't know about you guys. What did you inherit that you're still keeping today?
Yeah. Well, for me, it was triggered this morning as when my husband said to me, "Jy lyk mos lekker uitgevat." To say, you know what? I remember my grandmother instilled that in me. That to take care of yourself.
To be smart.
Okay. Yeah. And I said the exact words that always rings in my head is like, as jy nie na jou, I'm saying this in Afrikaans for those who don't understand Afrikaans. As jy nie na jouself kyk nie, gaan niemand dit vir jou doen nie, right? So you need to take care, what she was saying is you need to take care of yourself. So I remember I remember vividly actually, Joan, when I used to live with my grandmother for a while, before I go to work in the morning, she would have those years it was a multivitamin, I can't even remember the name of it, but it was a multivitamin and it was a cream cracker. And then she would say to me, "No, you're going to first eat the cream cracker and then take the multivitamin. But because you need to look after yourself." Remember?
Wow.
You've got to take care of your body.
Your own body,
Your own
Wow,
body.
that's quite elaborate.
If you don't do that, and this was in the 80s, early 80s, or 70s, I think. But so if you don't take care of yourself, nobody is going to do that for you. And up until today, girls, I take my multivitamins. I take care of my cream, not the cream cracker anymore, but I make sure I get something to eat in the morning, and I take care of myself. And I think we must never underestimate, the values of, even now today.
Yeah, that's
I taught
very true.
my granddaughters, I was just talking to them generally, because this is also something that goes along with it, taking care of yourself. I said to them, now, before you leave the house, make sure you guys are well dressed, your
Smart,
hair's
yeah.
in order. And then the one day, the one said to the other one, the sister, you remember Oma said you must make yourself presentable before you leave the house. And I'm like, wow, these girls actually listen to me. So that is how, we teach, get taught things, and it stays with us.
It stays with
and I'm
you.
praying
That's
that
true.
it actually stays with them. Not that I want to
true.
put pressure on them, but that we need to, because we know, guys, we come from a society where you can go out with a gown and a swirl kop, the kous,
Vader.
Yeah, those, So no, we were taught, no.
Nee,
Take care of
ek speel nie
yourself.
vir hy liek
Nee,
nie,
ek
nee.
myself nie, sis. Ek het nooit vir hy liek gespeel nie. So yeah,
That's
guys, I'm glad that my grandmother instilled some values about, taking care
Personal.
of
Amen. That's
personal
order and pride
and I
in
will
it.
take that to my grave. Yeah, to take care of myself first.
If I think about things that I carry, with having school-going children,
Yeah.
they often have these cultural days at school, and where they are required to wear cultural regalia
That's right.
and perhaps prepare a dish of the culture.
Wow.
So I found over the past couple of years that it was becoming tricky to define my own culture. Because of our multicultural way
Yes,
of life.
yes.
And I can't say that I have heritage to the Khoi. I don't.
Yes.
And I can't pinpoint any one deep cultural brand.
Yeah.
Which made it complicated for the kids to express their culture, because they
Wow.
would
Yes.
have Portuguese kids coming
Yes.
in,
Yeah.
and then they would have the Portuguese colors, outfits, and
Yeah.
foods, and the same thing with the Indian. So with being a colored person, it can be complex,
Yeah.
and sometimes we pull our cultures from different
backgrounds, yeah.
places in a lesser or a weaker
Yeah.
way. Like you could have a mixed Indian culture, and then maybe
Right.
you jy trek na die you incline yourself more to an Indian nature, and then you can
Right.
absorb that. You
Yes.
know. And so I decided a couple of years ago that I was going to rebrand my culture
Yeah.
into being Christian. I know it sounds cheesy,
Okay.
but I did.
Yeah.
And the more I thought about it, the
Interesting.
more I identified with it,
Oh,
and the more
nice.
it made sense to me.
Yeah.
Right.
And I'll tell you why. And this is
Okay.
also part of the things that I got from my family, is that because I thought about what is cultural in my life and how do I express that.
Yes.
And it is really Christians. Like, for example,
Yeah, it's a
we
fact.
pray before we eat.
Right.
It's a shared thing with many cultures,
Yes.
but it's a
Yes.
strong thing in my
Yeah.
culture.
Right.
Yeah.
Every time we have a birthday, we get
Yeah.
together and we lay hands on our
Yes,
children.
yes.
Wow.
And
Yeah.
an elder would
Yes,
pray
yes.
for
Yes.
everybody. That's a
Yes.
cultural
Yes.
thing.
Yes.
I uphold almost all the Christian cultures, especially when it comes to Christmases, the major holidays.
Yes.
And so
Easter.
I found myself firmly entrenched in that. And if I think about something specific that I take away from my parents or my mother,
Yeah.
as something of heritage, is some of the mantras that she used to say. Like, my mother wouldn't do anything. My mother wouldn't do a half measure of anything.
Wow.
She wouldn't permit me to have a tacky book with dog's ears.
Yes,
She wouldn't
yes.
permit me to, not permit me, but it wasn't something that she tolerated in our
Yes,
home,
yeah.
And if she did something and it was lesser, or the cake didn't come out, it was nothing for my mother to redo it.
Really?
She would never she would never give something that wasn't excellent.
That was 50%.
Yes, or just less than her
Yeah.
best. She
Yeah.
would rather redo
Yeah.
it.
Right.
Now I am not
That's
a
excellent. That's an excellent.
yeah,
trait.
she had an excellent spirit, and so now and again, I would do something halfway, and then I would walk away from it, and then I would hear her, and I would go back, and I would say to myself, an excellent person doesn't do this.
Yes.
So I do hear that in there. So
Yeah.
it's a multifaceted thing, but I think that's the most sincere way that I can have a cultural expression, is to say
Yes.
that I thought about it, and it was
Yeah.
confusing, and I didn't want to leave my kids feeling like they had no culture. And so I
Right.
tell them, and then sometimes you would have an emblem or something, and the cross is a symbol
Yes,
of our
absolutely
faith.
so.
Yes.
And so I put more symbols in the house.
Yes.
And I told him, your culture is Christian, and
Yeah.
this is the way you give expression to your
Yeah,
culture.
wonderful.
Yes.
And that's what it is to me.
Oh,
Wow.
wonderful.
Interesting.
I
I
like that.
love that.
So
I love
Heritage
that.
Day is on the 24th of September. And why Heritage Day is because we celebrate the cultural wealth of our nations. So we have many nations
Yes.
in South Africa. So South Africans celebrate the day by remembering the cultural heritage of the many cultures that make up the population of South Africa. And various events are staged throughout the country to commemorate this day. So I don't know, as I said earlier on, I don't know how you commemorate the day, what goes through your mind on that specific day, because I know there are a lot of cultural, black cultural heritage that we see all over, irrespective of what nationality it is. But we find that the Xhosa and the Zulu and the Sotho and so on, they actually rich in culture because it was brought over to them by their ancestors. But with the apartheid years,
Yes.
we as colored people were actually stripped from the very culture, and that is why they bombard us with the sense that or in our ears all the time that we don't have a culture.
Yes.
But I want to correct that don't be fooled that the colored people have a great rich culture,
Yes.
even though it the apartheid and now they want to take it away from us.
Yes.
But hey, man, there are people who are standing up and say, this
Yes.
is my culture, this is what I was taught
Yeah.
from my parents, and many times it is not seen, but my children knows it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I remember years back when I was working for the bank, I was working for a specific bank that I don't want to mention names actually,
Yeah.
but people who know me know I used to work for this bank for many years, since I left school. I actually left, I was going to be a teacher, and
Yeah.
it was the riots at that time, and I left college, Rand College, that's not existing anymore.
Yeah.
It's also taken away. And I went and I just said to myself, I'm going to go look for a job. And lo and behold, fooling around with a friend of mine, we were three,
Yeah.
and we went to go for this bank, the head office of this bank.
Yeah.
And we get the job.
And there we go.
Yeah.
And there we go.
Yeah.
There we go, work. And I said, I'll just work for this year, for the year out. It will also help my parents with the finances.
Yes.
And I was a girl that really loved clothing, and that
then.
was it. And since then I was working,
So
and
that's also one of your heritage.
Yeah.
that is one of
something
my
in it.
things that I like. I love it. I just love to, even if I must just go look at it
Right.
for another day.
Yeah.
But
Dressing
that is a certain things that I can remember in my days, my younger days, how I was trained,
Yeah.
by my grandparents,
Yeah.
my parents.
Yeah.
And I don't know how you guys inherited Heritage Day. What do you think on that day? What do you do on that specific day? But don't you think it is always good to actually instill, because we have, my children's big now and they have their own children, but we like to sit at the table and just discuss.
Yeah.
So what did we inherit? What is
do.
Heritage Day for us?
And what do you talk about?
For me,
I
it's-
talk about the Cook sisters. I talk about, what also stood out for me when
Yeah.
I was little. I had very thick hair
Yeah.
up till today,
Yeah.
and that is something that I've inherited. I have hair. Ek het hare, mense. Ek het baie hare. I have a lot of hair. So what I inherited was when there's no conditioner, because we didn't know about conditioner, right?
Yeah.
It was the natural. But then we used to put mayonnaise on.
Mayonnaise,
Yeah.
yeah. Oh, but it's like a moisturizer
So-
now. It's
Right.
rehydration.
Yeah, it is
hydrating
And
Great
see
treatment.
what happened.
You had
That thing came
wonderful
from the
hair.
coloured. That thing.
Yeah, it's a
Came
colored
from-
thing.
It was a coloured thing.
Yeah.
To be quite honest with you, and today they make conditioners and moisturizers
Yes.
with
Yeah.
mayonnaise in it.
Yeah,
It was a
yes,
coloured
it's one
thing,
of the
girlfriend.
ingredients.
It was a coloured thing.
You know,
But that just shows you the blend, because I'm just
Yeah.
picking up on some of the things that Joan is saying. And speaking about hair and colors, I mean, the swirl coast is
the swirlcoats is
It's
one
our
of the
thing.
things.
Okay.
Yes.
and the way that we used to iron hair,
yeah.
we actually iron
Oh
hair.
yeah, with that thing that you used to put on the.
I don't know how it
stove.
was done. I
don't
know that it happened.
Ladies, don't go.
Is it?
Don't go there, because when you talk about hair and colors,
Yes.
then there's a discrimination to
Yeah,
that
because
as well.
that-
There's a
actually-
tier. There's a tier.
Oh, girl,
It's like
the
wat 'n
sleeker-
tipe hare het
But
jy?
a tip hair. I mean, then
Yeah.
the sleeker your hair was,
Yeah.
the better a human being you were.
Yes.
Then you were Cape coloured.
Yeah.
Then you were Cape. That is how the apartheid
You
years
know, guys-
messed up our minds.
Yeah.
I was born and bred in Cape Town. Retreat.
Okay.
Listen,
So you have a lot
retreat.
of. Do you have a lot of Cape Malay traditions?
Oh, I know the Cape Townians, and I'm gonna say this, guys, I'm sorry to hurt your feelings, but the Cape Townians, the colored Cape Townians are the most racist people in the whole
I believe
world.
that.
In the whole
Because
world.
I believe
and
that.
you know why?
Why?
It's how we were socialized.
Yes.
How we grew up.
Yes.
We had that.
Because some of them are, most of them are fair.
Fair.
And
They were
have,
fair and they could
have
pass
this,
for
this
white.
long hair, so they think they're
Girl.
better than the other.
Preach it, sister.
Yes.
You know, so you know, I remember when I grew up, if you didn't speak English,
Yeah.
you were less than.
Yeah.
You know, if your hair was crus,
Yeah.
like you know, mine is that in between colored. You know, like when it's wet, it goes crus. When
Yeah.
But we
it's
have
dry, you
better
can make it.
categories nowadays. Type A, Type B, Type
Ooh,
C curls.
For real.
For-
So
you-
we've got some good recategorizations.
and what is that?
No,
Where you
your curls are now
recategorize.
your curls are now classified to the way it curls, like if it's more spirally.
Okay, okay.
And then
Interesting.
And then the hair products will also now say this is better for Type C's. You know, this
Oh,
is better for
wow.
Type B. Yeah.
did not
So
know
we came
that.
right somewhere.
Yeah, you
But
see.
it was a sense of, and without being negative and delving into
Yeah.
a shady past, pardon the pun, they did it. We were socialized. South Africans were socialized to be inherently prejudiced
Yes.
against our fellow man.
Yes.
And it happened with the skin color. It happened
Yeah.
with the language. It
Yeah.
it happened with the hair.
Yeah.
It happened with the areas.
Right.
Jy bly hierso. Jy bly hierso. You know, I know Riverlee, there was a train
Yeah,
track that
right.
divided
Yeah.
Yes.
from
The
Zombie.
divide and rule.
Yes, and
Yeah.
then there was people that were just a little bit better off there.
Yeah, yeah.
So they always like put a measure between
Yeah.
you and
Yes,
somebody else,
that's-
which
yeah.
made you feel you are better
better.
than somebody
Right,
else. And then
yes.
they put all of us into
Yes,
the same
that's
kind
right.
of pot and said,
Yeah.
That's
but
right.
we are the best.
Right.
So you do have that. And then I think it took a couple of generations for that to be kind of, a
Yeah.
bit diluted.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
and then it took deliberate conversations to
Yes.
restore some of the identity issues that it was creating in South
Yeah.
Africa. So I think when something like Heritage Day comes along, it is necessary. It is
Yes.
necessary to stop and think about it.
Where
And also
we-
just to be
yeah.
proud of the things that
course.
you do celebrate.
Yeah.
Like I know there are unspoken things like within the colored culture that
Yeah.
we do, like the swirl coast, the fish on the Fridays.
Yeah.
Or
Yeah,
at
the
Easter
Christmas
times.
on
Yeah.
I thought
Sunday.
everybody does that, but apparently
No,
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 it
no,
isn't.
no.
It's not a
That's our
universal.
thing.
It
That's
is
our
our
thing.
thing.
That's
It
our
is
thing.
our thing.
Yes, and the way that we conduct ourselves, I think, in community can be quite
Yes.
specific to cultures,
Yes, yes.
to
Right.
coloreds. We pull a lot towards families and
Yes.
gatherings. We
Yes.
love potlucks.
Yeah.
Those are very deep cultural things, and
Right.
they're embedded in who we are as a people.
Food.
Yeah.
Food is very important.
Yeah.
For color.
Oh, definitely.
You know, I didn't know that. Now, because we're so diverse as colors within our
Within our little category.
our little category, brain mensa colored.
Yeah.
We have inherited a little bit of culture
From everything,
the
yeah.
English, the British.
Yeah.
There we get the tea, drinking the tea
Yeah,
out of
and
the
we do
teacup.
love
Oh, yeah.
tea.
And the cup of
Oh,
tea
yeah,
and with a
oh,
pinky
yeah.
that's,
Yeah,
you know,
yeah, yeah.
our parents used to
that's
make.
inherited from British,
We inherited
right?
it
Yeah,
from
and
the
3 o'clock,
British.
3 o'clock or 4 o'clock tea in my family is still like gospel.
Yes.
It's
4 o'clock tea,
And-
yes, girl.
and then we have the
What's
curry.
What's your lacquer cake?
Yeah.
Oh, my mother used to have when we go there on a
Sorry,
Sunday.
bye.
She used to have so lacquer Swiss roll with the cream.
And the
Yes.
scones,
Oh,
the
so
scones, girl,
lekker.
and the cook sisters.
Yes.
and the scones and
and it's quite acceptable to go to a colored person's house on a Sunday and expect tea.
Yes.
yeah.
It was
Yeah,
quite
yeah.
it was okay. It was
Yes,
okay for you
see?
to do
Yes.
And you know what just blew my mind is
Yes.
that when you invite people over,
that. Yes.
you have a lunch, right?
Yeah. Yes.
But then you are expected.
Yeah.
Am I right?
When's the tea coming?
When is the tea coming? And also when we tell my sister and myself or whoever friends,
ja. Dan moet daai melk geboil word, girl.
girl, that milk wordt gekocht. And it's like,
And we had to make tea in the pot because everybody would drink so much tea.
what are we gonna have for tea?
Yes.
So with the tea goes the cook sisters
Yes,
and
you
the
can never give a
milk
colored
tea.
person tea and something.
Yeah, man, no, man.
There must be a tea.
Yeah.
You know, the one of the brethren used to say, you need something to lay his hands. So when you give them a cup of tea, there must be something to put their hands on, like a
Oh,
you
that's
know
so
a
funny.
biscuit or
Yes,
you know
yes.
something.
Yeah.
You know. To have that. But yeah, I listened to an interesting conversation yesterday, Joan, and it was also on the Inside Show, by the way. And it was
FYI.
about colors
Yeah.
Yes.
per se. And something that this girl said, this one lady said, struck me that she said we are politically black
Yeah.
and ethnically, what is the word?
Yeah.
Ethnically colored.
Yeah.
That was very interesting for me because here I am sitting with a regalia, an outfit,
An African
an
regalia.
African
Yeah.
tradition,
Yeah.
Yes.
you know.
Yes.
So it's
That's ethnic.
yeah. And so she said there's a little bit of black within all of us.
Which is true.
Which is true.
That's why
in
we
my
mixed,
case,
yeah.
just like you, I see
I'm
you wearing
Indian, I'm Indian.
My
Yeah.
daughter took the DNA. One of my daughters took a DNA test, and it was the percentage was the most was Indian.
Yeah.
And and if I look back, it's true. My granddad, from my maternal granddad, he looked like those dark.
Yeah.
Indians.
Very dark Indians.
Yeah.
But then, there comes the socialization again.
Yeah.
My paternal grandmother was from Dutch. My maternal grandmother was from Irish. Now, would you think I would speak about the most?
Obviously, you're Dutch and you're Irish
Obviously,
because it was
the Dutch and the Irish
superior.
because they were superior. That's how we were socialized.
Yeah, that's a
and
fact,
then,
and that's what
And
we-
then
they
someone
said-
in your family must have stroked your hair at some point. This is the Irish hair that's coming out.
you know,
Yeah.
and then they,
or the children that your
Yeah,
grandchildren.
the
with
children are gonna
eyes,
have
with
nice
the
hair.
eyes,
Oh,
with the eyes.
but my dad was very dark.
Yeah.
My dad was very dark. So he was either from Somalia, I believe, his dad,
Okay.
or Ethiopia.
So that's where your black comes
So
from.
that's where my black comes from, you know.
Okay.
But anyway, but
Yeah, so
the
you
point
at
that I'm
least-
making,
you at least
is-
inherited. It's good you didn't inherit the Indian bums because they don't have. Alles is wasplanke. So you at least have that
the African. Yes.
little
Die
bulb,
Sari
the
Batman,
bumps. Ja, man. Sari Batman bumps.
Sarki Batman.
Yeah.
I just wanted to be naughty on that one.
That was very naughty because she's wearing an Indian outfit.
yes.
So it is, and it is. It's like a plethora of just cultural input in
Yeah,
you,
yeah.
and like I say, that's where you can probably incline what was most practiced
Yeah.
in your home and growing up.
Yes.
Right.
And it's incredibly I love the fact that you kind of have some idea of
Yeah.
your bloodline.
Yes.
And I did the same thing, and I was actually teasing my family the other day.
Yeah.
You know, when South Africa was being a bit irritating with the load shedding, it was just a couple of things.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
And then in a private family luncheon, I was teasing them. I'm like, I'm And then I counted it to 4 generations.
Yeah.
So I went back up my generational, my
Okay.
ancestral line.
Yeah.
And I told them, I'm only the 4th South African generation here. So I'm not really South African. No, but I was just being
Yeah.
facetious
Yeah,
because of
yeah.
all the
Yes.
nonsense that was
Yes,
happening
yes.
at the time.
Yeah.
And I actually remember talking to Xavier. He was like, no, I want to go, man. I want to go, you know.
So what is your strong?
No, I traced it
heritage
back. I
from
also
place?
have, I would have on my maternal side, it was Saint Helena. That's as far as I can go.
Yes, lots of them
uh,
came from the islands.
Yes,
Yeah.
Saint Helena and India.
Yes.
That's the furthest
Yeah.
I can go on my maternal
Yeah.
side, and then my paternal side, that's where I get the German
Yes.
and the outs. Yeah,
Right.
yeah.
Yes,
So that's
yes.
where that's from. And then so that's 4. That's 4
Yeah.
generations back. My ancestors weren't South African.
Yeah.
And then we come and then we take on the Indian, we take on all of that, and then
Yes.
this is
Yes.
who I am and what I am. So that's why when I looked at it, and we are actually supposed to be all kind of derived from the Khoisan or Cape Malay
Yes.
somehow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so I thought if I don't trace my heritage back to those, then
Yes.
what do I claim
Yes,
as
yes.
my own
Yes,
heritage?
yes,
So
yes.
that's why I told you why I decided what I did.
Yeah, you know what is also interesting for me, ladies, is that the fact that we are so we have all these cultures.
Yeah.
We've inherited, so to speak.
Yes,
These
yes.
cultures, these different cultures. I think it makes us a bit. I'm gonna also be, gaan om myself verstout om te say we are peculiar people, almost like we're
Absolutely
different.
so.
Yeah.
And we find that we're not black enough. In the past we weren't white enough. Now
Yeah.
we're not black enough. But we also find that because we are so peculiar, so different, that there's sometimes a little bit of I don't want to say jealousy, but I don't know what to say. Like we get we marginalized.
Yeah, we prejudice.
Get a prejudice against us.
Yeah.
Like van jealous must know so in between.
Yeah.
But let me tell you something about being that in between. Is that we inherited some of the white folks' standards,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah,
In
that's
school,
true.
the
Yeah.
excellence, right? We inherited that. So I remember years ago when we went overseas to go and live there and study there, we were praised for our standards because we did not even realize that our standards was very high. Then, I'm talking about
Yeah.
then,
Yeah.
girls,
Yeah,
ladies.
which is true.
I can't say, I don't know about the same,
Yes, yes,
the,
yes.
the education
Now.
standards now.
Now.
But we grew up with
Yeah,
very
that's
high
very true.
standards in the
Absolutely
schools,
so.
in the school system.
Absolutely so.
And in your homes
Yes.
as
Yes,
well.
Yes.
we grew up. So we were then
60% yeah.
complimented for the excellence in our work
That's
because
correct.
we just had that. Ons het net hy harde werk. Wat sê
Yeah,
mens man?
there was
What do you call
it
that?
is true what you're saying. You're saying there was a good work ethic. There was a
There-
good
there's the
standard.
word.
We
Work
had
ethics.
excellent
Yes,
teachers.
yes.
To be quite honest with
Excellent
you,
those
Teachers,
years.
teachers was a very respected
They were
standard
very,
profession.
yes.
very
They
respected
dressed properly.
Yes.
They conducted themselves in an
Absolutely.
orderly way.
Absolutely
Yes.
It
so.
was a standard to be
Absolutely
a teacher
so.
back
Yes,
then.
yes.
And even working in the bank, mind you, Joan.
It was a
Yeah.
prestigious thing.
It was. It was
You were
a
respected
yeah. If
in
you
the
were a
Yes.
banking
community
clerk,
and society.
it was
Yes.
something. It was a good job for your parents to be
Yes.
proud of.
But yeah,
And-
but remember we didn't have a large variety either.
Yeah,
Yeah.
no, we didn't.
No, you had your options. You were a pastor. You were a teacher. You were.
Teacher and
You went. You
We
worked at
could
the
only
bank.
do teaching.
And the
teaching,
men, they
social
became
working,
laborers.
but you had to social working. You could study for a social worker, but you had to be Dutch Reform.
Oh, I
right?
didn't know that,
To
girl.
get
Oh.
I applied for it. That's why
Are
I
you
know
for
about
real?
it. Yes, because I was a Pentecostal girl, I could not go for social
Wow.
working.
Oh.
I had to actually either go maybe to a varsity in Cape Town,
Yeah.
but this specific. I think it was called Mini Hofmeyer
Yeah,
at that time.
Yeah, many of
They
them.
actually had, but you had to be in here.
Wow.
So
Maybe they just meant that there's a certain amount of doctrine, and we want you to be inclined to a certain
Yes.
religious
Yeah.
Yes.
order,
yeah,
and that's
so
why you
yes,
would make
I
a better
didn't-
social worker.
I didn't actually then go. That's why I went to the bank. That's why I went to the bank.
Well, the
to
Lord
be
had his way
honest.
either way.
And you know what? As the years went,
Yeah.
like, I'm in the ministry.
Yes,
and I'm
the Lord had
and
his
I'm
way.
doing. I am actually
Doing
doing
social work. Yeah.
It just shows
You know
God
what I'm
orders
saying?
our steps.
So,
eh?
so that
Yeah.
is what it is, and
Yes,
and,
no
and
matter
I
what.
think that is important for us to
Yes.
understand. You could become a teacher, you could become a nurse, you could become
Yeah,
a social,
nursing was
a
also
social
quite
worker.
a
Nursing was a
profession.
big thing,
Yeah.
and then that those were actually things.
Yeah, and
then
for
work
the
in
men,
bank.
a boiler maker, a apprentice of
yes.
And
some
a
sort.
secretary.
A welder,
Secretary was being
welder.
yeah. Also being a secretary was
being,
a big
being
thing.
a secretary, but those years it was white secretary's girlfriend.
mainly, eh?
Mainly in companies, big companies. That is why you found so many coloreds in the bank,
Yeah.
and hence today they all worked out. Because it is they replaced with black. It is very sad to see the history of our country, by the color of our skins.
Yes.
And I think that is where racism comes in, which I feel it is not something to be looked at in the first place, because it is skill that will bring the country back to its economical
Yeah,
strength.
Yes.
skill, standard,
You
and
know,
competence and
skill,
education.
yes.
That's why I'm Christian, I'm telling you.
Yes. I think it's important,
Yeah.
because these things actually get you off track.
Yes, it
And
does.
it makes people hate one another instead of complimenting one
Yes,
another.
yes.
You see what I'm
and
saying?
I think the whole idea about Heritage Day
Yeah, was to
why
bring people
Nelson
together.
Mandela actually, what do you say? Die dag ingestel het,
Yeah.
Yeah.
is because
Introduced
before
it, yeah.
it was called Heritage Day, it was Shaka
Day,
Zulu, Shaka
because
Day,
it was
yeah.
the
Celebrating
king
his
died.
that
Zulu.
died on that
Yeah.
specific
And so
Yes.
people will still
day.
celebrate his
Yes,
death or
that's
life.
right. That's
so
right.
the whole idea was for us to embrace one another's
Yes,
culture,
that's
you know,
correct.
and to embrace our diversity, to celebrate,
Yeah.
to celebrate our diversity.
And I like the
Instead
fact that they
yeah.
rebranded it as Bride Day because it's such
Yeah.
a common thing.
Yeah.
It doesn't have any race or class
Right.
or distinction.
Yes,
Everybody
that's
likes
right.
to bride.
That's right.
It's like on
And
a
it's-
rugby day.
Yes. It's
when the
actually
Bokke
universal.
plays,
All green and
then you
gold.
see the mix.
Yeah,
Yes.
the commonality,
Cultures
yes.
and the
No,
mixed
it's nice.
nations.
And
We
I-
all wear green. You know what
I
I'm
was
saying?
gonna say
That
now
is
we all
why I
green and
like
gold,
it.
but then I saw that teal
What?
Jana, sorry, man.
outfit
Nice checkers,
for
nice
our
checkers.
our away game.
Yes,
Oh, it
yes,
was so
yes.
much fun with all the memes on Facebook. Someone called it, I think it was Wendell Bloom, called it this pajamas is difficult for me to get used to. But I must say, I love the green and gold. And yes,
Yes, true.
when you unify a nation, I mean, the
Yeah.
nation was previously unified with the rugby.
Yes.
Nelson Mandela was
Sports,
very fond of rugby,
yeah,
where we
sports,
won
yeah,
the World Cup.
unites
It unifies
it
us.
unifies us.
Yeah, because it
Unifies
doesn't
us.
speak about race, creed,
Right.
color, ethnicity. It doesn't speak
Yes.
about that. It brings the common ground into our culture. So
Right.
Bride Day is good because it says we can eat and we can be lacquer together as
Yes.
South African
So
people.
will you agree that South African families are actually generally affectionate
Yes, we are very warm people.
and we protective and we expressive?
Yes.
The expressive side is mostly in the colored nation. We like to express. If we see an accident and everybody else saw it,
Yeah.
we express it differently.
Yeah.
No, it is. And,
Yeah.
and I must say that is something that is peculiar about
Yeah,
us,
yeah.
is that out of all the colors, we are very colorful.
We are.
In terms
We
of our
are. You must
reactions,
actually-
our responses,
Yes, yes.
our animated...
And we can
Yeah.
confuse you. We can confuse you.
Yeah,
When
yeah.
the hair is natural, we
Yes.
can actually
Yeah,
confuse
so they're
you.
colored,
When we with
but
our
they're over
children,
there.
yeah, man.
Indian.
When we with our children, you will wonder now. What's going on here? Because that one looks so dark. Is that
Yeah,
now
yeah.
a child that they
And
that
only
they
colored people think
adopted?
like this, Only colored people look at the complexion of your children. Yes, and it is strange, I must say, because I
Yeah.
do have a little white child. And,
Yes, yeah.
and I had to and we didn't raise our children calling themselves by the color of their skin.
Yes.
But it was difficult for my son. He was fair. He's fair to the extent where you can confuse him with the fair children in his class.
Right.
And so when, the culture and that
Yeah.
thing becomes a topic of conversation,
My
he looks just like the little Lebanese boy next to him.
My grandchildren don't say fair.
Yes. What do we say?
Peach.
Peach. Yes.
Yeah.
My
Say
kids
peach.
also use
The
that
peach
word.
children.
It's like,
Yeah.
no, he's a peach boy, mommy.
peach
you know?
boy.
My
And it's
youngest.
no color.
Yeah.
No, that's peach and the dark brown.
Yeah.
And brown.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's how they.
Oh,
That's
but
how
it is
they
a terrible thing
do
of
you
human
think
nature.
we teach the children color, or do
No,
they?
I don't
they-
teach
I
bright
don't-
golden color.
No,
but
I
you
don't.
can teach
I
it.
don't.
You
You
can
can
teach them.
teach prejudice
You actually
through
yes.
your behavior. Yeah.
Now, what is so funny is that my youngest granddaughter is also extremely fair.
Yeah.
Right.
Your little
And-
white grandchild.
Yeah,
yes.
little. Yes. So, but then she is the one that wants to be black. She gets so mad.
Does she
She'll
want to
say,
be called black or does she?
No, black. She says, I'm black. Or no, she says, I'm black. So then it also,
Dawned on you there.
yes, that it doesn't matter. Black is not necessarily the color of your skin either. Because I think what she was trying to say is that she leans more towards the
Black
culture.
side.
Okay,
black
the culture,
Yeah.
She loves the culture.
Yes, yes,
Your
yes.
are her parents mixed race?
Yes.
Okay. So identity is a thing for her
So
because
her,
she
her
needs
dad
to know her
is white
story. Yeah.
and her mother is mixed colored.
Yeah.
Yeah. But okay. Yeah.
Yeah, so,
So-
I mean, if you look at her, she would your daughter and her and your son-in-law would have to figure out the cultural story they're going to give their
Yes.
children.
Interesting.
They will have to kind of work it out and say, this is who we are mixed, or whatever it is that they want to be carried through in their family.
But then I also find that they lean more towards the mom. The mom side.
Okay, but that normally in most families,
Yes.
you find that the children goes toward the mom.
The mom.
Yeah.
Yeah. They embrace the
Yeah,
mom's
somehow.
culture.
Well, that's why
Somehow.
your
They
little
love-
white grandchild
yes.
is
Yeah.
black.
And the mom has dreadlocks, and when they draw a picture, they draw someone with the
dread.
dreadlock, the
Yeah.
dreadlocks, and so I'm sure that is why she wants to be
More
But your
black,
but
yeah.
your daughter's also not
dark.
dark.
No, she's
fair.
She's brown,
She's fair.
brown.
Yeah.
No,
yeah, she's peach.
Her skin is lighter.
Yeah.
She's peach.
She's a peach.
She's a peach.
Shame. So
Just
you
the
got
hair.
okay.
Die hare, het is so mooi.
Nee, is reg, is haar.
Ja, sy hare.
Yeah.
So
And
she
those are the
embraces
those are the types of conversations that people have on a sincere
Yeah, can you
level
remember-
and a very honest and
Listen,
forthright
can-
level.
I
mean,
was
we are not
laughing-
being politically correct right now.
No, we're
but
not.
I mean,
Yeah,
it's,
no,
it's
we're
just
not.
the
But
way
it's
that
about the heritage, girl.
Yes.
It's about the heritage.
It's-
Listen, my brother-in-law says to me here,
Yeah.
he says, ek was nou matte, my sister. Ek was nou matte, my sister. Because we used to start on a
Yes,
we used to
Frida.
start on a Thursday.
Oh,
We used to
no.
start on a Thursday. So on a Thursday you must do under the beds, yeah,
Yes.
and the mats, and the mats. And roll it up, and roll the mats up, and then put it aside so that you can
Is it-
put it down on.
Oh no,
on
Pastor John.
Friday.
Are you going to climb in the bath with a blanket? If I say, when they used to
Yes,
wash
yes.
the blanket.
Ons moes die kombers
You
getrek.
have to get in the
yeah,
bath
I still
and-
do
yeah.
it. I still do it.
You-
girl.
Oh no!
I still do
This
it.
is so
Yeah, I
funny.
still do it.
I
There's, I have one
Well, we
blanket
must
that
pray
is.
over you for
there's one
the
blanket
deliverance for
that is very heavy.
Yes, and you can't put it in the
Extremely
washing
heavy.
machine. Yeah.
It does not.
Okay, no, it's
But in
I
the-
accept
in
that
the-
then. If
in
it
the
really
washing
can't go
machine.
in, then you
I'll
can
make
muster
it
up.
go in.
The
I'll
rest,
make
the
it,
rest,
but
I
those
put in
days are
the
over.
machine.
Those
Yeah.
days.
But that one, unfortunately, it cannot go into that machine.
Yeah.
So I put it in the bath. But guys,
Yeah,
when it needs to be
taken out.
taken,
Yes, that's what I'm talking about, sister.
so heavy.
That's what I'm talking. It's heavy.
You need 3 people
Yes.
Oh
to
no.
actually go hang that thing.
Yeah.
So what I do when it's clean,
Yes,
I put it in a black plastic and I put it away.
you almost don't
It
want
must
to.
last for the
You
whole
almost
week.
don't want to
Don't
wear it.
I'll use it.
Yeah, don't do the
Yeah.
blanket, please.
I don't know how my helper gets it right.
No.
You know when we-
I love I've got a nice decent washing machine, and I like washing the blankets myself. which means I just push the buttons myself.
Yes.
But I like to select the right detergents.
yes.
That's why I wash blankets.
Yeah.
Not that way. So the other
'Cause
day,
it smells nice then.
Yeah.
yes, and it needs a soak. A blanket does need a soak.
it
That's
does.
what
It does. It
the
does.
stamping
That's
was.
right.
The other day, my husband says to me, I must let the children tramp the blankets. I nearly had whiplash. I'm like, who does that? But now I'm going to tell him, there's someone that still tramps blankets. He's going to be very encouraged by this.
Yes. All the dirt comes out and it soaks. All that.
No, it needs a good soak.
Really, honestly speaking. I also believe that before I put it in the machine, let it bietjie soak, man. Let it just the bietjie, lekker. And especially now, September.
Yeah.
Then you must take out all the thingies.
Yeah. Yes.
All the things,
All
all
the
the things to
thingies,
clean and
yes.
crack and everything
Right,
else like
yeah,
that. Yeah.
yes.
No, I do love a year of the end spring cleaning,
Yeah.
and then I also love it. I do. I'll tell you something funny, but I don't do this. But I know that colored people do this.
Yeah.
Like every year in December, they paint their houses.
Yeah. That's another culture.
That's so funny.
That's another
That's
culture.
a color thing.
That's a color thing.
And-
And you change. You do your windows.
Yes.
Every now and then, when like now with the first rain,
Yeah.
you take the
And the
curtains
curtains must
off.
be washed
It
now.
must be washed,
Yes.
and
Yes.
the,
No, I do do that at the end of the year.
You
Yeah.
prepare for spring. You
That's where
prepare
the
for
word
spring.
spring
That's where
cleaning
spring
comes
cleaning
from.
comes from.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
you're
right.
preparing for
That's
spring.
right. You
But I do
prepare
love
for
the
spring.
culture of cleaning, and I think it's necessary. Like today.
So if we must just
Yes,
go
because
into
we're on 5
into the
minutes.
comments. Thank you so much, Gail. Our regular, we really appreciate you tuning in.
Yeah.
You say, welcome back, Pastor Violet.
Yeah.
And then she say, my late father taught me that you don't borrow out your car,
Yes.
your gun, or your spouse. Lol. I stand by that, especially for the car. I fully
Yes.
agree with you. My
Yes.
father always used to say,
Yes.
there's one thing that you can't give out, and it's a car.
It's so
because
true.
you don't know the person who's driving
Yes.
the car, and when something
agree with
happens
that.
to the car, and that is why we still like that today.
Yeah.
We don't like to take someone else's car.
Yeah.
To be quite honest.
Yes. It's a responsibility that
It's
you take
it's a
on.
big
Yeah.
responsibility
Big,
that you're taking.
No, it is.
So that's true. And then thank you so much, Tombisi. That is online. As it how do I pronounce her name?
Tombozi, yeah.
Tombozi, right? You say gorgeous ladies, and then I said what Lloyd said. Sarita Miles, my grandmother taught my mother, who taught me, even if you don't have money, get up, clean your house,
Yes.
brush your hair,
Yes.
and make yourself look good.
Yep.
You don't have to look like what you're going through.
Amen.
I fully agree. I fully agree.
I love that
You know,
one.
I still have two
That's my
aunts
motto.
left.
Yeah.
From my mother's side, I have these two aunts left.
Yeah.
And come, I tell you guys, you can go there anytime.
Yeah.
They are
House
dressed
is
up.
Spiggerish.
Yes, they are dressed up.
Yeah.
And they are smart.
Yeah.
Their hair is, their houses are like intact.
Yes.
My husband always used to say, he can bring people to my house anytime.
Yeah.
But don't take advantage, you must let me know. But that is what it is.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? And that is, I fully agree with Sarita. Thank you so much for tuning in. Then Glenda says, good morning, beauties. Staan op en maak jou kooi op. Woe! Amen, amen, amen. Nie die hele dag met die kooi nie, man. Heerlikheid, ek kan 'n aapie vang, hoor.
Ek myself.
Met die, I can't handle it, because if your beds are made up,
Yeah.
then at
Already
least the
your
house
room looks
looks
tired.
clean.
Yes.
But this generation of today, we didn't taught them like
you
that,
find
right?
grown-ups that don't know how to make up a bed.
Yes.
Like the bed mustn't look like a child made it up.
Right.
When a grown-up makes a bed.
yeah.
That's
yeah.
so true. That's so
Then she says further, Mum's words, don't look like your problem. Dress up, show up, and do what your future self would do.
Maybe this is
That's
a color thing and I
beautiful.
didn't know either.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is a
Yeah.
color thing.
This
It is
dressing
a
up
color
thing. I think it's a
Yes.
color thing and I
It
didn't
is.
know.
It is. It's but just now this generation that goes with
Socks and
slippers
sloppies,
and gowns and rollers in hulle hare.
Oh, no.
Ag Here nee, kykie, ons het hulle nie so groot gemaak nie man.
Asseblief
By
toch,
kom by.
reg,
Trek
Kom
julle
net
aan.
reg. As jy
Ja.
nou mall toe gaan of jy gaan
Ja.
na die winkel toe,
Ja.
haal tog die rollers uit man.
Ja.
Asseblief
van die
man.
Here af.
Is nie mooi
He says,
nie.
anoint your head. Anoint your head.
Ja.
Yes,
You know
Van my
even
bruilcream aan.
even the rollers.
Vaseline, Pastor Andrews.
Let's talk about the
Vaseline,
rollers. Even the rollers.
Yeah, but
It's a
that's
colour
but,
thing.
but that's a deep. Are you
It's a
talking
colour
about
thing. When
rolling
you wash
your
your
hair
hair,
or walking
rolling your hair.
outside?
No, rolling your hair.
Yeah.
Because
You
colors
know?
are also known in a negative way for walking around
With
with
their
rollers.
slippers and
Yeah,
gowns.
yeah.
Yeah, that's not a nice thing. We
No,
want
that's
everyone
not
to
nice.
stop that.
That's not nice,
years
please,
ago, there was
guys.
an idiom that said, so dronk soos 'n kleerling onderwyser. So,
Oh no!
do you remember that?
Yes,
one?
yes, I
Yeah.
remember
didn't
that.
hear that one, but I can
remember
see
that.
Yeah,
how it
that's
could
But
be
you know
true,
what?
yeah.
That also comes from the apartheid years.
Yes.
Our great grandparents used to work in the fields.
Yes.
You know.
And they used to get
and they
paid
were
in
paid
liquor.
with the
they used
liquor.
to be paid with alcohol.
What some of the
And
boers
that
are still
is
doing to
that's
the
what they
farmers. Yeah.
some of them are still doing
Paying
it.
them with
But things are changing. You know what I'm saying? That is why when they offer you a drink
Yes.
and you say no, I don't drink, and they say, wow,
Yeah.
wat 'n kalle drinkie.
Wat 'n brein
Verstaan
mens
jy
is
wat 'n
jy.
brein mens
Ja.
drinkie?
Oh, that's so
So
rude.
and I think that is because of how they were brain damaged.
Brainwashed, yes.
They
Yeah.
that I,
Yeah. Look, it
I
wasn't.
call
It wasn't
brain
the.
damage.
It wasn't our best season. I think.
No.
no.
Yeah, we were loud. We were
Yes.
lack
yes.
of culture. We drank too much and spoke too loud and swore
Okay,
too
to
much.
come back to the comments, guys. Linda Mdena says, good morning, beautiful ladies. Love how we appreciate the diversity of hair types, the crowns of our heads. Yes, amen. Then Sarita again says, colored people are natural storytellers. I fully agree with you. Gail Brayley says, coloreds also have a culture on how we do funerals. That's also true.
So true.
And even
That's very
the black
true.
people as well. The black,
Yes.
Yes,
they
culture,
actually have a
yeah.
they actually have a much more
Yeah.
A
rich.
richer
Yeah.
Yes.
culture.
In fact,
Yes.
I went to an African funeral once, and the person attending also. She sat, and I was concerned about the time in the program. And the person I was sitting next to sat and said, "No, it's the day.
Yeah.
I have come to spend the day here because I'm honoring this person's life."
Wow.
And I mean, we thought it was a lack of discipline when it comes to time, but
Yes.
it's not. It's like more
Part
of
of
an
the
expression of honor.
Yes,
It's like,
yes.
no,
It's
I'm
bringing
prepared.
your
in a
last-
hurry.
Yes,
bringing
I'm
your last
prepared. I'm
respects,
prepared
yes.
to listen to you. I'm
Wow.
prepared
Yes,
to
yes.
acknowledge you all your accolades. I'm prepared
Yeah.
to sit here for you today.
That is such good insight because I when I worked with the blacks a lot, and I had to attend a lot of funerals, and I always couldn't understand why it was so long.
Yes,
The
yeah.
funerals was long, and when
Even
and
the weddings,
memorial,
there
and
were
the
the
memorial
different weddings.
services too.
Yeah.
We would just slip out,
Yeah,
leave because
yeah.
it's too long. It takes
Yeah.
hours and hours. But now, thanks for that. It's that they actually
Honoring,
Spend
your
time,
honoring,
life.
yeah, that's
yeah.
a-
honoring
that's-
that person's life.
And because you're never gonna see the person
That's
again. You're never
right.
gonna have the
That's
opportunity.
right.
So
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that is also why.
Yeah.
Even with Indians, they also have like a lot of rituals that they do.
Yeah.
Like
The
especially when
Hindus,
it
I
comes
know,
to the weddings and come
Yes.
to the
Yeah.
funerals.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
it's
It's
And
different.
and I mean, and the black culture is also rich like that because they've
Yeah.
got the negotiations
Yes,
and the
that's
lobola
right. Yeah, that's
and
right.
and
That's
the
right.
unspoken dynamics that happen.
Yeah.
Like you can't sit, you must wait to talk.
Yes.
You
Yeah.
must wear a jacket. You
Yeah.
can't stand
Yeah.
higher. So
Yes,
there's all these
yes.
little intricacies embedded in the culture
Yes.
that
Yeah,
gives
the
our
woman
people a
can't
sense
look
of value.
straight into the man's face.
Yes,
and
or
stuff
you
like
can't just
that.
speak
You
to
must
any
always
man
look
like you want
down.
to.
Right.
Yeah.
Yes,
Right.
yes. So
Yeah.
all those
and not
things
looking
are,
someone in the eye we thought it was disrespectful.
But
in
listen, man, I
school.
want to come to this. What
Yeah.
what did you do on a Sunday? Were you also sent with buckets to the auntie who sells the Cook Sisters?
Yes.
Yes, see, ons het wat is so vroeg
Because
Sondagoggend.
that was the
Then we
breakfast.
must. Then my mother wakes us.
Yes.
And then we must go. We must go to the auntie to go
get
down in the road.
Yes.
We must go with our bucket.
Yes.
Then you just see that one comes from there and
Yeah.
that one comes
There's
from
the orange
there.
bakkie, there's the
And
blue bakkie.
so the auntie knew already that okay, Becky se kinders kom nou die tyd en hulle kom haal soveel dosyn.
That was the good old days, man. And that
And it was lekker Cook Sisters. So.
and that was the
That
breakfast.
was so nice. That was our
And you went to
breakfast on a
country
Sunday.
out of the kitchen. It was just made.
And so
Yummy.
nice and hot.
Oh, lovely.
Yeah.
Ooh, that was so
man,
lekker.
I
I
love
don't know
Cook
where
Sisters.
this.
I had that
lot.
experience in Riverlee. I can't say that I would know where the auntie lives now.
Yeah.
I don't know where the auntie lives anymore, Pastor Joe.
Yeah, that was
In
from
fact, I
from
don't
our
have auntie
Noordgesig
anymore.
days.
Yes. Well,
From-
now I can't eat the Cook Sisters anymore for health reasons.
I don't
but
know where
yeah.
the
Oh,
auntie
I
lives
love
and you
Cook
can't
love
Sisters.
eat it.
I love Cook
I
Sisters.
love it.
I just don't like this new, the white Cook Sisters. Those
No.
Cook Sisters that have
The
all
Boer
that
Cook
syrup
Sisters.
on.
Yeah,
Yeah.
no.
No, but
Yeah,
that's a
like it
specific
down
type.
in
Yeah,
there.
that is.
It's a
that's
type,
also
it's the
cultural.
sweet. Yes,
thing.
it's the.
yeah.
I think it is,
Yeah.
Yeah. where
Oh,
it's
that's
more
very
syrup than-
sweet. It's very
than-
syrupy.
Yes, it's too
So I
sweet.
don't like that. What do
Yeah.
you guys say about the wella on the hair, man? What the girls, what the dinges. What is so dan kom die meisie school toe.
straightener.
And then she's it was a
wat so
wella. It was
gestinke.
called wella. Yeah, it used to smell bad. It
yeah,
used to smell
as in-
bad.
ooh.
And
What-
then
the relaxer.
then they
The relaxer.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
hair
But I
straightener.
know it was called wella.
Yeah.
And then they used to wella it. Then you smell it. You used to
Yeah.
smell it on the people's hair,
Yes.
on the girls' hair. And I
I
said
used
to
to well
myself,
straight
yes,
my
I
hair
have
too.
so thick hair. My mother don't want to hear anything about this
Yes.
hair. That
That's
must be
well
wellered.
straight,
And
yeah.
my friends, no, when we were now a little bit bigger, then my friends used to always wella.
wella die hare.
En sê ek vir my suster, vir sy, wella my hare man. Wella my hare. Nee, dit gaan uitval. Jy kan dit nie wella, dit gaan uitval.
Yeah.
And sometimes the girls used to
It
come
is-
and then it used to fall out.
Yeah.
Complete,
hair.
and then they had to go virgin. You had to shave everything off.
Yeah,
Cut it
yesterday.
very short. Van die wella straight, yeah.
No,
Maak
those
het
I think,
uit.
I think those were
Afterwards, the
two
others
very
came in.
experimental things. It was of
That
that time.
iron?
Yeah.
It wasn't as advanced as things are now.
Yeah.
It was the contraceptions and the hair
The hair
straightener.
straightener.
Yeah.
So true.
Yeah, you see what the
There was a
hair straightener-
generation that were guinea pigs for those two
Yeah, true.
advancements.
Yeah, true. But that is why our parents had lots of children. It was 12 and 10
yeah,
and
yeah.
8.
Yeah.
You know,
By,
so that was what it was.
Yes.
So I don't know about you guys, but we were 8. We were 8 children. 8 is enough, girl.
More than
8
enough.
is enough.
More than
It's a very lekker
Yeah.
family. Come, I tell you,
Yes, yes.
it's very nice. It
Yes.
used to be very nice because I didn't worry about clothing because my sister's clothing went to us, to myself and
Yes,
and
yes.
my sister Bernie's.
Yeah.
So Cecilia and Minnie, their clothing used to come to myself and Bernie's.
Yeah.
So my mother, she made dresses. She used to sew, and that's where I also inherited that.
Yeah.
She used to sew, and she used to make us. You remember the hot pantses, the hot pants that we wore that they now call dangries.
Yeah.
They was geroep hot pants.
Yes.
But the
Yes.
shorts one.
Okay. Because it was
Those were-
shorter, obviously.
It was with the with the lekker
Yes.
bib and thingy. I used to love it. I used to boer in
But
the hot
you
pants.
are a self-confessed fashionista, so
Yeah.
you would have loved that.
I used to like
actually
it.
don't like that hand-me-downs because with my sister being older than me, I got her clothing. And then my mother used to pacify me and say, ag man, jy lyk mooi in al enige ding man. Jy lyk mooi in enige iets.
Yeah.
So she
Yeah,
gets the new clothes, I get the hand-me-downs. I kan dit gelyk nie. Oh,
I fortunately skipped a generation on this one. My parents, my mother was one of 8.
Yeah.
Yes. My father was one of 4 or 5.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I'm one of 2.
Sorry, man.
Yeah, I know.
But,
It's
but
a
you see,
moment of
it's
compassion.
and generational, right? Because
Yes.
times became so tough that people didn't. No, it's better to just have 2
Yes.
guinea pig
Yes. Yes.
a
Remember,
boy and a girl.
yeah,
You know,
in our
and that
generation,
was
when we
it.
got married, it was if you had more than 2 children, it's baie kinders.
Really?
Yeah, as your third
No,
child.
that is true.
They
that
say,
is
yeah,
true.
remember.
I don't know.
So
other
that's
people
why your
that used to
parents
My
have
had
more
husband
than
only
wanted
two.
4 guys.
They would say if you have a pigeon pair, that's enough.
Yeah, then you
Yeah,
stop.
yeah,
yeah,
You
yeah,
stop.
yeah.
I actually
Yeah,
felt that
yeah.
I needed another one, by the way. I
Really?
just want to
Did?
say that
Really?
matter of factly.
Wow, that's
Yes,
nice.
I
yes,
just
yes.
felt there was
4.
another one left in me.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah. But that's
But it's over
nice.
now. It's over
Yeah.
now. But I did
but
feel.
it's nice. It's a nice thing. It's a very
And
nice
what
thing.
a lovely
But yes,
one.
we came to the end of our show. Thank you, Lady Sonia says my heritage is niks is 'n moed nie.
Yeah, yeah.
Is
Moed
van
nie.
moed
Ja.
goed te doen. Goed.
Yes.
Moet goede wat die colored so high blood pressure
Is so
het.
waar. Ooh.
Awesome show, ladies. Dis nie net colours wat high blood, ek het net regstel. Dis
Ja,
nie
ja,
net
ja.
colours wat high blood pressure het nie. Al die nasies het high
En
blood
suiker,
pressure.
en suiker,
Ja,
diabetes.
they
Suiker,
everybody,
yes,
that
yes,
is now
suiker.
one thing that
Yeah, the
everybody
colored- that is a
have.
colored thing.
Yeah, call it
I just
suiker.
think that
Hope
we
it's
have
suiker.
a great culture.
Yeah.
We have an awesome culture. We have a
Yes.
respectful culture. We respect our elderly people.
Yes.
There is still respect, and I know
Yeah.
in today's society and in today's generation, you find that the youth of today don't know where
Yeah.
we come from, and I think
Yes.
maybe we have to instill it within them once
Yes.
again. You know what I'm saying? Because it was beautiful, cultural
Oh, yes.
morals
Yes.
that we actually had.
Yeah.
The respect we had for
Yes.
one another,
That's
getting
right.
up in the bus for an elderly person,
Yes.
you know,
Yeah.
trying to take the packets from someone. Come I
Yes.
tell you in
We can
Noordgesig,
go back to
if I
those
come from the
days.
shop,
Oh.
no, and an Ada see me
Yeah.
outside, and she now wants someone to go buy bread, then I must go back, and the shop were very far, guys.
That's
very
true.
far.
And you
A
couldn't
parent,
that
do-
was
a
what it
parent
was.
could treat any child as a
As
child.
a child.
Yes.
You
As a
could
child.
send another
Yes.
person's
Yes.
child like they
yes,
were yours.
Yes, yes,
Yeah.
yes, yes.
True.
That is what it
So
was.
true.
And we still
And reprimand
we had
them
that.
too.
And reprimand them
Yes.
too.
If you saw somebody smoking, somebody's child smoking, or doing
you could say
you could
something.
say, today,
Not in today's
you-
life.
yes, I
Not
know.
in today's
Yes, I
life.
know, Marcy.
You'll catch
yeah.
a case.
Yeah. But nevertheless, guys, we came to the end of a lekker show. I didn't think that it was going to go so
Yeah.
quick and so
Yes.
so fast.
Yeah.
So last comments, guys, and then we say ta-ta.
Yeah, I just want to say, you know, when we talk about heritage, the Bible also speaks about heritage. And that in the Psalms it says that, you know, what is that scripture that talks about our heritage? When you leave an inheritance,
Yeah.
a
For
good
your
man
children, yeah. A
leaves
good man leaves an inheritance for his
children and his
and his
children's
children.
children. But the way I see that, it's not only physical things that, you know, like leaving a car, leaving money. I believe it's leaving a spiritual legacy or inheritance for your children, because that is something they can hold on to forever, like you have inherited your Christian heritage, you know, and that we should also leave a heritage, a spiritual heritage for our children and our children's, for the next generation.
Yes.
For those that are following behind us. And may those that are following behind us, may they find us faithful.
Yes, amen.
That's
Very
just my
beautiful.
prayer.
I would say that we are a multi-cultural nation and a people, and many things can get lost in that.
Yeah.
I would say don't abandon your culture just because
Yes,
there's so
amen.
much.
Yes.
Amen.
Think about it,
Yes.
define it, and help your children navigate through their cultural
Yes.
differences, and build a culture within the context of your own South African culture, but build one that you can pass on, one that you can be proud of, and one that you can even add to. But be deliberate about your culture, because it is meaningful, and it carries across through generations.
Yeah, I want to say we come from, as a colored people, we come from a Khoisan and San people, and our color is actually sand. It's actually
Yeah.
the new word they
yellow,
call
like a
now,
yellow
the nude colors,
Yeah.
right? That is actually us, guys. That is where we come from. So don't
Yes.
tell us any longer that we do not have a culture. Hey, we have a rich culture.
Yes.
The respect and the family values that we have,
Yes.
and being there for one another.
Yes.
That is it's a culture that is installed and embedded
Yes,
within
yes.
us. So I just want to say also, South Africans as a whole, we have a very religious culture.
So true.
You
Mustn't
know,
let people take
where we
that away
go,
from us.
where we go to church.
Yeah.
You know, we practice our religions
Yes.
at least once a week.
Yes.
You know, that is in South Africa, irrespective of what nationality you
Yes.
are. So I think that is a beautiful thing that we can hold on to,
Yeah.
you know, as by training our children in the ways of the Lord, training them that
Yes.
you are in a country that is still religious.
Yes,
You know,
so
and
true.
so that we want to say thank you so much. Dankie man dat julle
Skakel.
tuned it. Yeah.
Yeah.
We want to just say thank you so much. We really appreciate you. God bless you. God loves you. We love you. So now go in the peace of the Lord. Mwah.
In the shadows, as I look upon my life, in the shadows, there's a passion inside. Heaven knows I'm living my dream.